After the first season, I could have left, but I really wanted to smash the league. Every day on the TV is hard to deal with.
Mohammed Kudus wasn't born into luxury. He didn't grow up in a European football academy, surrounded by perfect grass pitches, world-class facilities, or the comfort of a wealthy background. Instead, his story begins in Nima, one of the toughest neighborhoods in Accra, Ghana, where life is fast, competitive, and often unforgiving. In Nima, football isn't just a pastime or a form of entertainment. It's something deeper. It's an escape, a way to be seen. For many young boys, including Kudus, football represented hope in an environment where opportunities were limited and the odds were stacked against them. Fast forward to today, and that same boy who once played on dusty streets is now performing on the biggest stages in world football. He has become one of Africa's most exciting and electrifying talents, securing multi-million-pound transfers, dazzling fans in the Premier League, and carrying the expectations of an entire nation on his shoulders. But what makes his journey even more remarkable is this: Mohammed Kudus almost never made it. His rise is not just about talent. It is a story built on discipline, sacrifice, and relentless determination. It is shaped by the raw, unfiltered nature of street football, tested through moments of doubt and setbacks, and driven by a resilience that refused to break. His journey was so powerful, so undeniable, that European football had no choice but to take notice. From the streets of Nima, to the development stages of Ajax, to the intensity of the Premier League, and now to global recognition, Kudus has climbed every level of the game through sheer force of will. This is not just a football story. This is the rise of Mohammed Kudus. A skinny kid moves through the crowded streets of Nima, dribbling past older boys while barefoot on rough concrete pitches under the burning Ghanaian sun. There are no cameras watching him, no scouts observing from the sidelines, and no spotlight shining on his talent. There is only raw ability. Now, fast forward a few years later, that same kid is humiliating Premier League defenders, scoring at the FIFA World Cup and completing a £55 million move to the English top flight. But Kudus is not just another footballer. He plays with swagger, with confidence, and with a kind of street energy that sets him apart. Every touch of the ball feels personal, and every dribble feels like he is trying to prove something. Maybe he still is, because Mohammed Kudus represents something bigger than football. He represents possibility, especially for kids growing up in places where the odds are stacked against them. Before the lights, before the fame, and before the money, there was Nima. Nima is one of Accra's most densely populated communities. It is vibrant, loud, and full of energy, but it is also difficult. And many young people there grow up facing poverty, limited opportunities, and intense competition just to survive. For Kudus, football became an escape route. He played constantly in alleys, on dirt fields, and anywhere there was space to touch a ball. People who knew him growing up described him as quiet, focused, and completely obsessed with football. Unlike many talented kids, Kudus had something special, and that was discipline. That discipline would become the difference, because talent alone does not take you from Ghana to Europe. Thousands of talented kids dream of it, but very few survive the journey. Everything changed when Kudus joined the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. This was not just a football academy, it was a life-changing institution. Right to Dream focused on football development, education, leadership, discipline, and character, creating an environment that shaped both players and individuals. For many African footballers, academies can be unstable or even exploitative. But Right to Dream was different. It became the launchpad for several elite talents who later moved to Europe. Kudus quickly stood out, not just because of his skill, but because of how fearless he was. He could dribble past defenders effortlessly, combining explosiveness, strength, creativity, and the rare ability to use both feet with confidence. He was incredibly unpredictable, and even as a teenager, coaches noticed that he played without fear. That confidence would later become his signature. At just 17 years old, Mohammed Kudus left Ghana for Denmark to join FC Nordsjælland, and this was where the real struggle began. He had to leave behind everything he knew: including his family, his culture, his language, his food, and his environment, to move to freezing Scandinavia as a teenager. For many African players, this kind of transition destroys careers due to homesickness, pressure, and loneliness. But Kudus adapted. He adjusted slowly, painfully, and relentlessly, refusing to give up despite the challenges. Then came the breakthrough. In the Danish Superliga, people began to see flashes of brilliance in his performances, and by the 2019-20 season, Kudus scored 11 league goals for Nordsjælland. For a teenager in Europe, that was massive. Scouts began circling, and one club in particular saw something extraordinary in him, and that club was Ajax. When AFC Ajax signed Mohammed Kudus in 2020, many fans did not know much about him, but that changed quickly. Ajax is one of the greatest talent-developing clubs in football history, known for producing legends such as Johan Cruyff, Wesley Sneijder, Frenkie de Jong, and Matthijs de Ligt, and Kudus fit perfectly into their system. He was technical, fluid, and creative, bringing a unique style that matched Ajax's philosophy. However, his journey at Ajax was not smooth at first. Injuries slowed him down, and at one point, many people questioned whether he would truly explode into stardom. Then came the Champions League nights, and that was when the world started paying attention. Kudus was not just scoring goals, he was scoring spectacular goals, including powerful left-foot strikes, long-range screamers, and solo runs through defenders that left audiences stunned. Suddenly, he looked unstoppable. During his Ajax career, he scored 27 goals in 87 appearances, but statistics alone do not explain the hype around him. It was how he played that made the difference. He played like someone from the streets, direct, aggressive, and fearless, and fans loved it. Then came Qatar, 2022, and the FIFA World Cup, the moment where good players become global stars, and Mohammed Kudus delivered. For Ghana, he became the team's brightest attacking weapon, scoring twice against South Korea in one of the tournament's most entertaining matches. Suddenly, millions of fans around the world were asking who he was. His value skyrocketed overnight, his social media following exploded, and European clubs intensified their interest. Ghanaian fans also saw something they had not seen in years, which was a true global attacking superstar capable of carrying the national team. At the World Cup, Kudus combined pace, strength, technical skill, creativity, and confidence, and defenders struggled badly against him. This tournament transformed him from a promising talent into an elite-level prospect. In 2023, West Ham United signed Mohammed Kudus for around £38 million, and many people underestimated him at first. That did not last long, because the Premier League quickly discovered something terrifying, which is that Mohammed Kudus is nearly impossible to defend one-on-one. His first season in England was electric. He scored goals, created chaos, and embarrassed defenders with his fearless attacking play, and fans immediately fell in love with his style. Statistics backed up the hype as well, as Football Analytics showed that Kudus completed more successful dribbles than any Premier League player over a two-season span. That is remarkable when you consider the level of competition in the league, including elite dribblers like Jeremy Doku and Bukayo Saka, who are often discussed among the best in the world. Kudus quickly became one of the most entertaining players in England, and with that level of entertainment came attention, and not just ordinary attention, but big attention. Now let's talk about the lifestyle, because Mohammed Kudus does not carry himself like the stereotypical flashy superstar. Yes, he enjoys success, and yes, he wears designer fashion, and yes, he lives the elite football lifestyle. But compared to many modern stars, Kudus remains surprisingly grounded. He still speaks proudly about Nima, he regularly gives back to his community, and he stays deeply connected to Ghanaian culture. He is also openly devoted to his faith as a Muslim, and that balance has become a defining part of his image. Fans see him as authentic, not manufactured, not fake, but simply real. On social media, his personality comes through clearly in his relaxed celebrations, his stylish outfits, his training clips, his moments with teammates, and his visible involvement in community outreach. But the biggest flex is freedom, because Kudus plays football like someone who is enjoying every second of life, and that joy translates directly onto the pitch. Kudus did not arrive quietly. He arrived with flair, with confidence, and with swagger. The kind of confidence that defenders take personally. You could see it in his body language, with his head held high, his shoulders relaxed, and his constant demand for the ball. Even against top teams, Kudus played like he belonged, and that is rare because many talented players shrink under pressure, but Kudus did not, and instead he leaned into it. Let's talk facts, because hype alone does not survive in elite football, and performance is what truly matters. During his early Premier League spell with West Ham United, Kudus quickly became one of their most dangerous players. He delivered double-digit goal and assist contributions across competitions in his debut season, ranked among the highest in completed dribbles in the Premier League, maintained one of the most efficient take-on success rates in one-on-one situations, and showed remarkable versatility by playing as a winger, an attacking midfielder, and even as a false nine. The key statistic that separates him is his progressive carries. Because Kudus does not just pass the ball, he moves it forward himself. He drives at defenders, breaks defensive lines, and creates panic in opposition setups. This is something data analysts value heavily in modern football, and it explains why bigger clubs started circling again, because players who can consistently beat defenders, score goals, and create chances are incredibly rare. Mohammed Kudus stands out in world football because of his unpredictability and unique playing style. While many players possess talent, few combine raw strength, explosive acceleration, tight ball control, creativity, and confidence under pressure the way he does. What truly separates Kudus is his decision-making in chaotic situations. When defenders panic, he becomes even more dangerous, thriving in tight spaces and creating moments without relying on structured systems. His performances have naturally attracted attention from top clubs, with links to teams like Arsenal FC, Liverpool FC, and Chelsea FC. As a result, he is no longer viewed as just a talented player, but as a high-value asset and a potential global star, with transfer valuations rising into the £60 to £80 million range. With that status comes significant pressure, as he is now expected not only to perform, but also to justify his value. For Kudus, the pressure is even greater because he represents the Ghana national team. Like many African players, he carries the expectations of his family, community, and country, where every performance is closely judged. Despite this, he has shown strong mental resilience, staying focused, disciplined, and composed under criticism, which is a key trait that separates great players from the rest. Off the pitch, Kudus maintains a balanced lifestyle. He expresses himself through fashion with a clean and controlled style, remains grounded in his faith as a Muslim, and stays connected to his roots by supporting his community. He also prioritizes fitness, recovery, and discipline, ensuring his body can sustain his intense playing style. Mohammed Kudus is more than just a footballer now, as he has become a symbol, especially across Africa. For young players in Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and beyond, Kudus represents the idea that it is possible to succeed, but more importantly, that it is possible to succeed on your own terms. He did not become robotic, he did not lose his style, and he did not fully conform to the rigid expectations of modern football. Instead, he brought street football to the biggest stages in the world and succeeded while staying true to himself. This matters because modern football often tries to systemize creativity, yet Kudus breaks that pattern by expressing himself freely on the pitch while still performing at an elite level. The big question now is how far Mohammed Kudus can go. Realistically, his ceiling is extremely high, and if he continues to develop, he has the potential to join a Champions League contending club, become one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, lead the Ghana national team deep into major international tournaments, compete for African Player of the Year, and build a global brand that extends beyond football. However, there are still challenges ahead, including maintaining consistency, avoiding injuries, improving tactical discipline, and handling the increasing expectations that come with his rapid rise. Talent may be what brings attention, but consistency is what defines legacy and transforms great players into legendary figures. Consider the journey he has taken. A boy from Nima who once played barefoot on dusty streets has now played in the World Cup, established himself in European football, dominated Premier League defenders, secured multi-million-pound transfers, and inspired millions of people around the world. That is not a normal path, and it is not an ordinary story, but something truly exceptional. Mohammed Kudus did not simply rise through the ranks, as he forced the world to pay attention to his talent and his story, and what makes it even more remarkable is that he is still improving. The next time you see Mohammed Kudus receive the ball and drive at defenders, remember that you are not just watching a footballer, but a story unfolding in real time. It is a story built on resilience, discipline, and belief. A journey that began in the streets of Ghana and has reached global stardom. And it is a story that is far from finished.